Hello YouTube, back with another episode of Stanley's Parable. We are here, we are back, and this time our goal is to just go through the story as the narrator wants us to see that ending. I'm going to lower the volume a little bit here, so...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
So
mean?
mysterious.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Of course I want to still turn everything off.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yes.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. And he just stood there doing nothing at all. He seems to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything.
Okay.
This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
Yes, I've been doing what you've asked. Sorry, I had to send a text. Sorry to stop up early. Of course, we're gonna make a stop in this beautiful broom closet.
Into the broom closet.
Yes.
But there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Not quite yet. Look at this. Look at this beautiful walling. Some spackling happened down there.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Alright. Gotta enjoy the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Of course I will. I'll do whatever you ask me, Mr. Narrator. What's this say? Executive bathroom. Where's the secretary? Where's the boss?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Fancy. Picasso, Picasso.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
I do feel
it was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Yes.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh. Escape. I said I was going to follow what he said this time, so we'll walk through.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I do have the strength to find out.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
427.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life
Pirate?
in someone else's
Sounds like
control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Never again.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yes. Off.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
And right back to where we started. Beat the game. Okay, so this time what we're going to do is
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
we're going to go to the same path, but this time we're going to do the escape option. See what happens that time. There we go. To the
When
left.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
There's quite
Yet there was not
enjoyable,
a single person
making
here
this
either.
narrator angry.
Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Ignore the broom
Stanley
closet.
decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a
You
staircase,
know what happens when we go
Stanley
down.
walked
You know,
upstairs to his boss's office.
that last ending that we got to. No, we won't go there yet.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once
Trying to
again
figure out.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
No,
That
I didn't.
kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
How do I accidentally find these options? I'm just trying to Get to the other.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Yes. I do feel calm and rejuvenated. Thank you for that, narrator. Little nicotine. This is different. Isn't it?
Stanley walked
Oh, no.
straight ahead through the
That's the
large
same.
door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, I didn't.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh. Well,
The
let's see
door
about that.
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nope. Not doing it.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yes. Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh my. Oh. Okay.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I don't know. Let's find out.
When
Oh
every
my.
path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now?
Corridor.
Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
The two doors. Very interesting. Nature paintings. Office layout. The blueprint of the office from the beginning of the game. The path up from Stanley's office to the two doors. It's the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout the development. So the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Oh, cool. Stanley's computer. Filing cabinets. Office computers. Turn them all off. Button sounds. Blah blah blah. This is the rating board from earlier, last episode. Credits. Wow, a lot of people actually worked on this. Let's go this way. The office. Minutes room. Green light. Since September 2012, you submitted the standard order green light valves process for approving games for Steam. Nearly played only a series of cryptic photos. We were still enough to win the community's approval. Narrated emails. After the second trailer, yes, the email that narrated for questions. While we initially planned to use these for further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Your selection of the perfect emails. I'm Stanley. I have a question for you, sir. What is your message for the day? Sincerely Harris, sent by my iPad. How do you make it to your blah 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 blah. The lounge. Oh, I love the lounge. An early version of the lounge. The office. The apartment timer. The previous version of the truth leading to the apartment ending. We give you a timer of 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not pick up the phone will lead to a different ending. Oh, we got to the apartment ending. Cargo lift. The cargo lift was intended for offer choice of staying or jumping to a tough path. And after an early version, we decided we also wanted the option of falling to their death. Cargo lift. The second version was functions the same as the following game. We're going to look at more like a place where cargo is actually stored. That's cool. That's my office. Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. First was created November 2011, second in 2012, third in 2013. First one, second one, last one. Game design mockup. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent to Davey the writer. It's called a kind of an audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired as to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout of this mockup is still in the game. The countdown room, an early version of the countdown room. Still a lot of endings left. The monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down. The frame above and the countdown below we've been when players find it too difficult to remember which way is up and which way is down, and place two endings together instead. Countdown desk. Wanted to see one of the desks for an early version of the countdown ending. Freedom ending. So we've done the freedom ending, we've done the kind of like crazy ending, I guess. Office clock. Boss's office. Narrator outtakes. Kevin Brady, the voice of the narrator, recorded the dialogue for the entire game in roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from the early takes that are not used in the final game. Toy Lounge, the Underground. Cool. Alright. Let's move on. Very interesting stuff, very interesting ending. Let's end it though. Exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
Oh.
Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time
What if I pressed like escape and quit? It would bring me to another ending, but I kind of don't think so. I kind of think it would just kind of close out the game, making it the most meta piece ever. Okay, that's enough for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe. Come back for another episode where we'll explore more endings. Have a great day.